Let me tell you about the night I thought I was going to die, and how the man I loved made it worse. My name is Emily. I was 29, and dating this guy, Jake. We'd been together just over a year. Things were rocky. He was charming, always knew how to make me laugh, but he had a way of turning things around when we fought. Never took blame, always had an excuse. Still, I thought getting away together might help. A weekend in the woods, no Wi-Fi, no distractions, just us, and the trees, and silence. The cabin we booked was off an old dirt road in Vermont. Secluded, rustic, wood paneling, stone fireplace, creaky floors. Exactly the cozy horror movie aesthetic I wanted. The first night was perfect. We drank red wine by the fire. I wore his hoodie. He rubbed my feet and said, "Maybe we should just stay out here forever." It was the kind of moment that makes you forget all the red flags. The second night changed everything. We'd just come back from a hike. I was washing my face when Jake called from the living room. "Em, you have to see this." I patted out in my socks, drying my hands on a towel. He was crouched by the far wall, near the old piano. A bookshelf stood half pulled away, revealing a small, square hole in the wall. About shoulder height. A door. But not a normal one. It was metal. Cold. With a circular latch, like something from a submarine. "What is that?" I asked. Jake grinned. "I think it's a safe room. Maybe a storm bunker?" He pulled it open with a groan. Beyond the door was a narrow staircase, leading down, pitch black. "Nope," I said immediately. "Oh, come on," Jake teased. "Just for a second." "Jake, it's creepy. Which is why we have to check it out. What if it's where the owner hides bodies?" He laughed. I didn't laugh. But he lit a lantern from the fireplace and started down the stairs. "Fine," I muttered, and followed him. The air changed the second I stepped through the door. It was colder, heavier, like the ground was breathing. The staircase creaked under our feet. The walls were concrete. The kind of place that wasn't built for comfort, just for hiding. At the bottom was a single room. Bare, except for a rusted bed frame, a mirror on one wall, and carving scratches all over the concrete, like someone had spent years trying to claw their way out. "I don't like this," I whispered. Jake was staring into the mirror. I touched his arm. He didn't flinch. He just said, "There's something behind the glass." I looked. At first, I saw nothing. Then the reflection twitched. Not us. Just it, flickering in place, like a glitch in a video game. Then it smiled. Not a normal smile. Something wrong. I screamed. Jake laughed. "Relax," he said, pulling his phone from his pocket. "It's an art piece or something." "Let's go," I said, grabbing his sleeve. He pulled away. "One more minute." I left without him, back up the stairs, back into the cabin. I slammed the door shut and locked the latch. It clicked too easily. I waited. 5 minutes. 10. 15. No sound. "Jake?" I called. Nothing. I opened the door. The staircase was gone. In its place, bricks. As if the stairs had never existed. My heart raced. I touched the wall. Solid. I called again. Nothing. I ran through the house, checked every room, every window. He was gone. And so was the door. But that's not the worst part. I found his phone. On the kitchen table. Opened. To his photos. He'd been recording. Every step down the staircase, every moment in the room. The last video was 23 minutes long. In the footage, I could see myself walk back up the stairs. Then Jake turned to the mirror and started talking to something. Not me. Not on the phone. Something inside the glass. And it responded. In whispers. He nodded. Smiled. Like they were old friends. Then the thing said something I'll never forget. She suspects, but she doesn't know. Jake replied, she won't, until it's too late. Then he put down the phone, faced the mirror, and walked into it. Not toward it, into, like it swallowed him. The video ended. I dropped the phone, ran to the door again, still bricks. I was alone, or so I thought. The whispering began around midnight, first from the vents, then from the fireplace, and finally from the mirror in our bedroom. I smashed it, but it didn't break. It rippled and smiled. Then a voice, Jake's voice, came through. You always wanted us to be closer. I screamed, ran from the room, tried the door, locked, windows sealed shut. The cabin wouldn't let me leave. And I knew then, this wasn't an Airbnb. It was a trap, a cage, and I was the offering. The next morning, a woman arrived, drove up in a truck labeled Cleaner Services. She let herself in with a code and whistled as she walked through. When she saw me, she didn't look surprised, just said, another one? I asked what this place was. She said, feeding ground, been here a while. I begged her to help me. She said, I can't, but I can give you a head start. She unlocked the door, said, run, don't look back, and whatever you hear, don't follow his voice. I ran, barefoot, through the woods, for hours. Eventually, I found a gas station, called the police. When they arrived at the cabin, it was gone. Just foundation and dirt, no house, no door. No, Jake, I showed them the video. It was gone, too. Phone wiped. All that's left is this story, and the mirror I took with me, because I couldn't leave without one piece of proof. It still smiles, and sometimes, if I stand too close, I swear I see Jake, smiling back. What would you do if your lover led you into something that wanted to keep you forever? Comment below.